anyway, as the riders make their way out onto the track for their formation lap. This is the second moto of the day for the Race Fasteners Mini GP 190 and 70. We'll pick up the riders in a few moments. And then Schuker, of course, had a great battle with Dan Goodman earlier on today. All these riders, of course, very closely competitive, of course. Very fast riders out here, and there wasn't much margin for error in race number 1. So we look forward to what looks set to be quite a closely fought battle in race number 2 here. Sponsored, of course, by Race Fasteners. Riders making their way back to the grid. There is one rider, I think that's Reece Stevenson, actually, a bit late into the waiting zone, and effectively will go out for another sighting lap to warm up the machines. The riders have been down for quite a while there, so it looks like they're going for an extra formation lap just to get the bikes properly warmed up. There's been quite a delay before this race gets underway. There's Ash Barnes, who was out a few moments ago in the Super Minis, having to jump from one bike to another. And we're looking at Ash Barnes there, of course. He's gone straight from one race to another. Now, I found I've raced before, sometimes you'll do a double entry, racing in 2 race categories, going from one class to another. You'd almost think, sometimes you think, oh, that's going to be really tiring, it's going to be hard work. But I found in the past, when I've been on from one race straight onto another, it's like you're not really all that tired, and you jump straight onto it. At least you're dialed in, nicely warmed up, know the track. So sometimes it can be quite an advantage. I
think it depends on how well you hand that little bit of adrenaline, because you've obviously got that's still pumping around you, and you want to try and just to hop on to the next thing. I know that obviously it used to be the way, didn't it, in the world of motorcycle racing, in sort of the, you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s. It would be quite common for a rider to hop off one bike and onto another one, and you do, you know, like 2 or 3 classes over the course of a day. So it's good that there are some riders out there who are still willing to, you know, push it to that extent and give it to that level. But this will be an interesting one for Goodman. This is not his perfect class. He's still working on this one, but he's there or thereabouts, and having had 2 wins earlier in the day in the Junior SM 140 and Mini GP 140 races, hopefully this is going to be a good one for him.
So here we go, the flag is about to drop for the Mini GPs, and here we go. Good jump on the inside from Ash Barnes, but round the outside going the 17 of Chris Weston. Barnes second, looks like Goodman has settled in third. Reece Stevenson, not a good getaway, but certainly making up for lost time round the first corner and into Christmas. Stevenson back into third, Barnes holding on to the lead. Look at Stevenson though, great line through Christmas corner, and looks like he's going to try and challenge going down to Ashby.
Yeah, he's not going to wait around, is he? He knows he's got 5 laps, so he dives up the inside line. Not the best of starts, but boy, has he made up for it since then. Second place now as he works his way forward up the inside of Chris Weston. Now he's got to try and get after the race leader, and Ash Barnes is looking very solid. And it looks as though it's deja vu for the guys in 4th and 5th position. It looks as though we're going to have that little duel again between Sullivan Mounsey and Dan Goodman. So be interesting to see how it goes. We were incorrect, actually. We thought it was Schuker earlier on. It's actually Sullivan Mounsey that's there battling away in 5th position on the 44, but great to see them still dueling away, and Mounsey once again having a little look at Dan Goodman, and they've got 4 laps of it.
Goodman parking that bike on the apex, but Mounsey, great line out. So fair lady up the hill towards Christmas corner, and Mounsey takes that 4th position. Ash Barnes still leading the way, but Reece Stevenson trying to make amends and get with the race leader coming down towards Ashby. Ash Barnes, who's come straight off the KTM 85cc 2-stroke motocross derived machine onto, I think it's one of the Bucci Moto mini bikes. Very different type of bike here, and he's certainly adapting well to the different power band, the different way. That's, of course, more like a scaled down road bike, you might say, compared to more like the Supermoto style of the motocross bike. And Ash Barnes coping well, but he's got his work cut out here, because Stevenson, with time running out, is starting to close the gap.
I'm a big fan of these Metro Kit bikes, essentially. They're really, really strong. Good, fast-paced riders have to be very much in tune with the machine to get the best out of them. And with 3 laps remaining, Stevenson is doing his best to chip away. But Ash Barnes has opened up the taps a little bit at the end of the 2nd lap. He's got some gains there that he's made. Mounsey in front of Goodman, and Mounsey now starting to stretch away a little bit from Goodman, so it's definitely helping him out. Stevenson has got to be very calculated here on Ash Barnes. They don't have long to do anything about it, so essentially for Ash Barnes, he just needs to bang in some qualifying laps now and get away from Stevenson. They don't have a lot of time to play with, and they're certainly running the gauntlet a little bit in where they can push the tyres and where they can push the brakes, so they've just got to be very evenly spaced around each apex. But Stevenson hasn't given up, has he? He's still giving it plenty of hurry up to Barnes out in front, and he's actually gained a little time on that lap.
2 laps to go, only half a second separating the top 2 riders as Barnes gets on the power, tries to get a good line going up to Christmas corner. Stevenson still hanging on in there in second place, closing up under braking. More technical part of the track now, down the hill towards Ashby. And Barnes again pulls away. You'll see Stevenson again closing up under the braking. Just trying to sort that exit out, just try and maintain that gap as they go through the top 2 now, really breaking away. Chris Weston after that good start, now settled in 3rd. Sullivan Mounsey alone in 4th, really pulling away from Dan Goodman. Had that great battle in the first moto for the final position, Mounsey and Goodman, but it seems a bit more clear cut this time. All of the action is at the front as Barnes goes round the final corner. Stevenson fastest lap of the race last time round with a 50.34. Almost the same time this time round. 1 lap to go. Stevenson marginally quicker, but it really is fine margins, only a few tenths of a second here. And tries to close up under braking going into Christmas corner. Of course, now these riders will close up a bit now under braking, but the battle here now for Stevenson, the task here is to try and keep on that back wheel.
The momentum's with Barnes here, essentially. He's already got that half second to Stevenson, and Stevenson can push as much as he likes, but this is only a 5-lap sprint rather than a 12-lap duel, and as a result of that, Barnes has got plenty of grip still in the tyres. He doesn't need to push too hard here. He's got that little bit of pace on his side, so the bike should be able to give him everything he needs. Just take it nice and gently through the apex. You can afford to cut your lead in half. Stevenson's giving it everything, but he's going to run out of time.
Yeah, Stevenson, you see the front wheel bucking away there as he tries to get the power down, but it's not going to be enough as Ash Barnes takes the checkered flag in this second moto of the day. Stevenson in second, very closely run to the flag. Those two really pulling away even on those 5 laps. Very closely fought race as the 17 of Chris Weston brings it home in 3rd. It'll be Sullivan Mounsey and Daniel Goodman a little bit further behind. Just seemed to drop the pace on that final lap. He will take 5th position. Only 5. It's a very interesting race, actually. It doesn't sound too exciting with just 5 riders in there, but it's a very closely fought race because you've got these top riders in there. When you're competing in a race where there's only a few riders in there, you've really got to keep that pace on, because as soon as you make a mistake and drop off the pace, you as near as damn it is to swearing out of the race, really.
And that's it, and you've got nowhere to hide, so you have to bring out your A game. But it's a very good day at the office for Ash Barnes. No matter what, he can walk away from this weekend having got 2 great victories, and that's a very nice gesture there from the 57 of Dan Goodman to give him the support there as they've come through. A very nice performance all the way through the weekend. They've been very, very competitive throughout, but it is game over in this particular category now, so really good to see just how close and even it's been in this particular category, and 2 wins in the Mini GP 190/70 for Ash Barnes. 2 races to go.